I know, yeah. Unplugged, unplugged.
Heavenly Father, Yah, before you as a family, here to worship you and give praise to your mighty name and observe your Sabbath and rest and gather, edify you here today. That you fill us up with your set apart spirit, you touch us and you move us from better people, walk in alignment and according to your word, that we become the lights you want us to be. We ask that you charge us here today and bless us, that when we walk out of this room, out of this gym, throughout the week, that people will recognize that make them encouraged to proclaim the good news to our friends and family homes, to fear not, that we talk about you so that we can bring them to your Son, so that they can have salvation through Him. Yah, we love you, we praise you, forgiveness, we ask for your healing, we ask for your continued provide for us and what you already give to us. Let us take those things that you provide, that you give for granted, that we always be grateful, striving next to you. Lord, we pray this in your Son's name, Mashiach, Messiah. Amen. Hallelujah. Give us maybe a minute to figure out this sound system thing, and if it doesn't work, I'll do my best to project.
Testing one, there we go. Perfect. Figured it out. How's everybody doing this morning? Are you controlling the Zoom? Oh, okay. So,
Live's going right now, so it's a steady stream. And
so those of us who are on the live stream on Zoom, we also are going live on YouTube on Ronald's channel. You can find that link on Telegram. I noticed that my Zoom hasn't been out, so if you guys want to check out, make it some slight upgrades. Now we're live on YouTube. Awesome. Okay. It's cool that we all get to be a part of the experience of the work, the foundational work that's been put in. Okay, join the YouTube. Okay, awesome. I think a lot of people are jumping. Awesome. Woo! How's everybody's week been? Wilderness and how the Most High handled this situation. We went through many stories so far. Take a break from that. Okay, that's right. Okay. This message is entitled from trial to triumph. From trial to triumph. Okay, we're gonna take a look at the story of Shimon Tefah, or Simon Peter. We're going to look at the trials that he went through. We're going to see how he became triumphant through it. So at this moment, let's all think about the trials that we're facing in our lives, the hardships, the hard times. Again, let this message, inspire you, build you up. Okay. figure out what our purpose is, what our greater purpose is. And become robots, rat racing all around. But we don't want to be a people that become follow the rat race. Okay. God has given us all spiritual. Basically, we use those spiritual gifts for His purpose. The thing is, we don't know our purpose. Lots of times, like, I only started realizing my purpose once I started reading the Bible now. And I realized what my purpose is. That's how I found my purpose. That's where I found my calling. This is what I'm saying. Not my will, His will, His desires. You know, and when we go through tribulations, and so, yes, double hands, all right? And make you like, what is it? You know, let's hear it from you. Like, how does it make you think and feel when you go through these troubles in life? What is that experience? Do we have a mic ready? Okay. Who's gonna be our mic Wednesday? Thank you. So yeah, how does it make you feel? How does it feel going through trials and tribulations?
level up, or is it because I put myself in that situation and did something maybe I wasn't supposed to, and you know, have to learn that, yeah, a lot of children, discipline is always like about so it's like that's like my first thought. But in that sometimes I can get frustrated. Okay, what now? Like it's a long time, but it depends what the child will get, but all I can say is that's my first thought.
Christian, trials and tribulations too. Jesse, Yahoo.
Pushing past waking up on it, you know, just being able to meet God's creation in the morning for that beautiful sunlight. The morning sun is just like, you struggle through it, but it's like once you get to the top, it's like, yeah, this was worth the day, you know. So.
Christina. Stories of Kefar that in scripture that Satan, the adversary, permission to try and test God's children, to test its permission, and test his Holy Spirit, test his Holy Spirit. And I Father God loves him. And he's doing it to get us off track. cause us to think negative thoughts. So to shake us up in our purpose that our Heavenly Father gave to us. And so now, question: are your trials a part of the plan? Is it not? Let's turn to the first set of scriptures, Romans chapter 8, verse 1. Romans chapter 8, verse 28. Okay, we read here is the Apostle Paul or Shaul speaking. He says, everything that you've ever experienced in your life works together for good. It's going to turn into something good so long you walk the course and stay faithful, continue to walk. We know that all matters work to those who love Elohim. Okay? So it's specific. All matters work together for good for those who love Elohim. To those who are called according to His. So He takes the hard times, puts it all together for your good, for our good. So we learn lessons so that we ultimately mature. Okay? For those who love Him according to His, remember, not my purpose, not your fleshly desires and purposes, but His. And the only way you're going to learn about His is you read the scriptures. It's in here. He tells us men, He tells us women, what your purpose is. How to unity, how to be of the body, how to be a part of the greater body. So this is for those who love Yahweh. And when we think about times we've screwed up in our life, right? All those times we messed up. Sometimes, I know our family here, a lot of us are maturing in our mindset. Really. A lot of us are recognizing that in this fellowship. Sometimes people use because of the things they've done in the past, so shucks, I can't be used anymore because I'm just. So, no matter the disappointments, no matter your failures and what it might be, you continue to keep loving God, keep obeying His command, do our best to walk in His purpose. He says He's going to bring it for the greater good. Hebrews chapter 2, verse 10. Hebrews chapter 2, verse 10. This reads, for it was fitting for Him, because of whom are and to whom all are, bringing many sons to His seed, to make the Prince of Spirits perfect through sufferings. What are you writing here? It's better. The great pressure diamonds are formed. And so ultimately, by God testing God, putting us under pressure, we learn how to shine our light. What I think is interesting is that throughout history, the church, early founding fathers took this as a station, schools, God's going to allow us to be tempted, and that's just the reality of the sin. And that we are made perfect through suffering. So in other words, right, we will be perfected. We have the opportunity to be perfected through sufferings. Just like how Yeshua became perfect through his sufferings. And we gain perspective through sufferings. Okay, let's turn next to Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. Or Yirmiyahu. Those of us again who are on Zoom, it might be better to join the YouTube live on Telegram because I see my Zoom link still continuing to cut in and out. Okay. So we are at Yirmiyahu chapter 29, verse 11. For Yahuwah, in expectancy, then you shall call on me and shall come and pray to me, and I shall listen to you. So this was said after all of Yashrael, all his children, went whoring after other mighty ones. Okay? This was said after they went to worship false gods. So let's think about this for a moment. Always thinking about a way how he can bring us. He's always thinking about how he can bless, declares Yah. He has a plan for you. He has a plan for us, individually. A plan for you to be at peace. Give you a future and an expectancy to who love him and of the tunnel. There's life. There's the spring, living waters. Just gotta keep trotting on. Just gotta keep moving. It says, then you shall call on me and I shall come in, and you shall come and pray to me, and I shall listen to you. And you shall seek me and shall fight for me with heart. And I shall be found by you, declares Yahuwah, and I shall turn back your captivity. So there right now. We're free from captivity, but our brothers and sisters in the world, lots of them are still held captive in the mind, the state of frame of mind that they're living in this state, in this government. And shall gather you from all the nations and from all where I have driven you, declares Yah, and I shall bring you back to the place from which I have exiled you. Yahushua talks about us, about the gathering of this.
You kind of alluded to that already.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is totally the place we're in, and Yah is freeing us from that prophecy being fulfilled. The times we're in is the gathering time. I think that's what's another powerful witness to that.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, let's turn to Matthew chapter 16, verse 13. Matthew chapter 16, verse 13. So I want all of us to understand this message. He will use your pain. He's going to use your sufferings. He's going to use your moments of doubt. maybe some of your, disappointing times in your life. Matthew chapter 16, verse 13. It says, now when Yahushua came into the parts of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his taught ones, saying, who do men say the son of Adam is? So he's questioning them. He's wanting what the masses are saying. Who do you think I am? Okay. And they said, some say Yohanan the Immerser, and others Eliyahu, or one of the prophets. So everybody's making all kind of speculation at this time. Who is he? Did one of the prophets come back? Did this guy or that guy? Okay. And he said to them, and you, who do you say I am? And Shimon Kepha, Simon Peter, answering said, you are the Messiah, the Son of the living Elohim. Okay, wasn't just a fisherman. Okay, he wasn't just someone who caught fish. So he's not praying for Peter not to get tried. Okay? He's praying that his belief shouldn't fail. You're still going to get tried, but I'm praying for you that your belief doesn't fail. And when you strengthen your brothers, when you have overcome, strengthen your brothers. Because there's going to be times when your brothers get weak and they're going to need you. Daniel.
Yeah, because the best way we can teach people is that we had issues with. Thankful in level up, open, right? We take that with the way, right? Because Yah has shown us the way.
Okay, so thank you, Daniel. This scripture actually runs a little deeper than you think. I need you guys to highlight this scripture because there's something that's going to happen later on that's going to tie directly into this part. Oh, that was Luke chapter 22. We're in Luke chapter 2, verse 32. Okay? He's going to get tried. He's going to be tested. So he said, don't let your belief fail you. All right? Your belief. Oh, as we read Peter's story and his life and how he operates, it's kind of feisty. Why? Tear off, right?
A word, and he was real serious about the walk, so as opposed to the other disciples were serious, but he was he knew what time it was.
Yeah.
And then the quick with his mouth, very reactive.
Very reactive. Very quick with his mouth.
He's also the one that is sinking in.
Yes.
What I find powerful about is Yahusha saw that and he was like, this joke ain't scared, but I gotta show him, right? And he was always the one willing, right, to jump in and give it all, right? 100.
He was brave.
Yeah.
He was brave. He was I could almost say, he was the leader of the apostles of the 12. Yeah. Okay? So that was his character. And when we go through the trials, we get exposed extremely. When that happens, there's a humbling problem to go through. Verse 33. And he said to him, Master, I am prepared to go with you. Okay, so this is Peter. Okay, I'm prepared to go with you, Master. Bring it. Okay. Both to prison and to death. This is his arrogance. He was a little arrogant. Both to prison and to death. I'm with you all the way, 100%. Quick to talk. Okay. And he said, I say to you, Kepha, the cock shall not crow at all today until you have 3 times that you know me. So, Yahusha, being a prophet, his failure. Probably didn't even know what he was hearing at the time. No, he didn't recognize what he was hearing. He just was talking. You know, he was all up in emotion. Okay, let's go ahead, drop down to verse 54. It says, and having seized him, they led him and brought him to the house of, and Kepha was following at a distance. Okay, so already we see he's like already, you know, at a distance already. You know, okay. I'm gonna be with you all the way, Yahusha, all the way, side by side, death in prison, and then already he's at a distance. Okay. Well, we're gonna learn a lot of this guy, and we appreciate him. Okay. So he's following him. Kepha sat among them, Peter. And a certain servant girl, seeing him, sat by the fire, looked intently at him, and this one was with him. But he denied him, saying, Woman, I do not know him. Oh, death in prison, huh, Peter? I don't know you. That easy. And after a little while, another saw him and said, You are one of them too. But Kepha said, Man, I am not. Okay, now he's getting worried. Like, oh, shoot. And about an hour later, another insisted, saying, Truly, one was with him too. For he is a Galilean too. But Kepha said, Man, you are saying, and immediately while he was still speaking, a cock crowed. And the master turned and looked at Kepha. Kepha remembered the word of the master, how he had said to him, For a cock crows, you shall deny me 3 times. Kepha went out and wept bitterly. What are you guys experiencing right now?
You got 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. So you should see twice as much. You should hear twice as much. And you talk half the time.
I like that.
You know what I mean? Because in the scheme of things, like I've caught myself in this scenario quite a few, but I always grew up in a culture where it's like, didn't back up what you was talking about. So I didn't find myself in a scenario where I had to back up something I wasn't necessarily prepared to back up. You know what I mean? And that's why it's important that we, control our tongue. That's why the scriptures tell us to do that, right? And so ultimately the more we come into accurate knowledge of the Most High, the more we come into a relationship with Him, He helps guard our tongue and eyes when we being slow to listen, right? And so ultimately that's it.
This reminds me, remember our MLM days? Guys just like, oh brother, I'm gonna be your biggest guy. I'm gonna do Nobody's
company.
better than me. Oh my God, we're going straight to the top. Gone. 24 hours later.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for that. I was one of those guys. Okay, so what led Kepha to weep bitterly? What led to that bitter weeping? Christian.
It's like he let down the Messiah.
He let down the Messiah. And then sometimes, just to switch the perspective, sometimes we need that. Sometimes it's that experience that's going to lead you, it's going to lead us into our greatest anointing, our greatest ministry. So we have to allow the trials and the failures and the weaknesses to bring us face to face with those things in our lives. We have to come face to face with pride. Allow ourselves to be completely weakened. Get to the point where that at this point, all I can do is rely on the Most High and lean on Him with everything that I got. And
it's great. It's crazy too, because Peter thought he was like on par with Messiah, and it's like to go to show you His ways are not our ways, and His thoughts are not our thoughts. Like Peter thought he was on par, but it's like when the cock crowed, it's like nah, So.
So can you imagine, Yahusha telling you that you're gonna be like, I'm gonna build the assembly on this rock, and you're gonna be extreme. I'm gonna, do this work.
Empowered, ultimately.
Empowered.
Yeah.
Oh, this is inspired. Like, oh, I got work to do. Like, yeah. So think about that. Think of purpose and calling that you have in your life, that He placed on your plate. There's a time in our life when we were super inspired to do something great in the kingdom. You feel ashamed or embarrassed of what you did, and then because of it, you never went on to fulfill the purpose that God has given you. So like a lot of times we got to get back to the why we even doing what we're doing. We got to remember the purpose. We got to always purpose, no matter what you're going through, no matter what we're going through. Bring it back to His purpose. Really, when you come face to face with your true self. Yeah. When we realize, man, I'm actually not this great man I thought I was. I talked a lot. Mark chapter 16, verse 2. Okay, so scripturally, remember day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, Shabbat or Sabbath. That would be tomorrow. They came to the tomb when the sun had risen. Okay, so And they said among themselves, who shall roll away the stone from the end? And looking up, saw a young man sitting on the right, wearing a white robe. And they were greatly astonished. And he said to them, astonished, you seek Yahusha of Nazareth, who was impaled, raised. He is not here. See the place where they laid him, and go, say to his taught ones, and to see him there as he. Okay, so this is already when the Messiah died and he was raised. Notice how the man in the robe said, okay, go to his taught ones and Peter. There's an emphasis there. He told Peter, I'm going to build my assembly on you. Okay? Let Peter know that we didn't forget about him. Because at this time, Peter's, he dug out bitterly weeping. Right? This was just like a couple days ago. Right? Guarantee he's still feeling what he did. So he said, again, say to the top ones and Peter that he is going before you into Galilee, and you shall see him as he said to you. So saying, don't forget about the calling I got for you. Remember, he prayed that he wouldn't fall, and he prayed that who should be strong in his belief. Let's turn to John chapter 21, verse 3. I love, reading through Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Matthew and Mark, Luke was the one who got all the people who did witness these experiences, okay? And then John, also unique book, goes into lots of detail on all different types of levels. But as we read through these accounts, we get to see a little bit more detail here and there in the stories. Okay? So, John chapter 21, and it says, Shimon Kepha, Simon Peter, said to them, I think is interesting, and it took me a long time to learn that, and that's what the Messiah was teaching us through his example is, right? That we're a vessel in this scenario, not the causer of the scenario, right? And it puts us in a position to react in time, right? Is that because it's not about us, how we deal with the scenario is the reality. And that's what I think is awesome about his example is that it's like, we have to, just like you said, he's like, boom. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of, emboldened him to speak a little bit more often than maybe he should, right? But denying the Christ and him going through this scenario humbled him to be the brother that we're reading about in the chapters later. You know what I mean? That's like, boom, faith on the money. Like, my favorites after that transformation, it's like, a caterpillar to a butterfly scenario, right? It's like, so that helped transcend him into, the spiritual being that Yahweh was trying to create him to be. Right? And so if we take that scenario, it can be that transcendent experience that we require as well. Thank you. Acts chapter 12, verse 6. Acts chapter 12, verse 6. That night, Kepha was sleeping, bound with two chains between two soldiers. The guard before the door were keeping the prison. Okay, so They were about to be put to death. And look at the type of peace that died tomorrow. Would you be in that kind of peace, sleeping in between your shoulders, like, it's all good. So he was chained up, and see, verse 7, a messenger of your goodbye, and the light shone, and smiting the side of Kepha, he raised, get up quickly. And his chains fell off his hands. To him, gird yourself, and bind on your sandals. And he did so. And he said, put in your garment, and follow me. So, to close, this may be the way Yahushua is coming to shore on your life, in your, and let the failures, let the trials, let the tribulations, let all of that perfect us, perfect you. And come to this stage where we're just in complete peace no matter what. Because we know we're untouchable. You're untouchable at this point. His humbleness, his calmness, he was saved. Open up for some shares, comments. What you like, what you learned.
Being in bondage, and then both hands being let go was like let go to continue and do the work. So that's how I felt. And with Kepha being that cornerstone.
That's a good analogy, man. That's a good one. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah. Yes. I was thinking about the verse that you went over about the keys to, and just thinking about how part of the kingdom. What is the keys to the kingdom is the way that Kepha would become like the fishers of men, or teach us how to become the fishers of men by using the word, showing people what the key is to get into the kingdom is belief in Yahusha, bringing about the one to obey, and ultimately given the power to obey through water immersion and the spirit. So it's almost like one map that was set up on the maps, right? Like certain things that you need to do in order to get to the destination that you're gonna get to, which the ability is to share that good news and be fishers of men, show people enter into the kingdom.
True that. Thank you. Lenny.
I won't try to get choked up on this one, but so I've had plenty of time off. Spending time with, being away from work, just being completely blessed. And I was talking to you last week, and I'm like, man, I gotta go back to work next week. And I'm like, I know I have a purpose, description, to fulfill, depart. So when you're reading John, shepherd the people, like in a sense, doing when I was at work, and like that spirit of me, I want to go back to like people talking unrighteously, doing unrighteousness, not trying to hear that or see it. Like there's like that tug of war with like the spirit in the heart, you know what I mean? And yeah, I felt that scripture to be fun. I learned a lot today.
Thank you, Lenny.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Joel? Thank you for sharing, Lenny. That was deep, man.
I really appreciate on 21:17 where Kepha denied Yahusha 3 times. He was also given the opportunity to confirm him 3 times. And with that third question, third time, he really struck a chord with Kepha because he became sad. And a lot of times, emotion arouses change in us. And I'm sure at that point he was thinking to himself, what do I need to prove that I love him? And he gave him direction. Feed my lambs was the first one. So you're going to instruct those that are young spiritually, who don't know much. You're going to raise them to be old sheep, so a little bit more mature spiritually.
Yeah.
Not only are you going to shepherd them and guide them, but you're going to continue to feed them even after you've raised them, because this is something that even as sheep, us today, we still need to be. So it was a huge responsibility that was given. I'm sure that with this opportunity, we see, in the records that he really took it seriously.
Thank you. That was powerful. Christina?
To go off of what Joe said, in our world now, it's 3 strikes and you're out. But Yahusha still gave him a still guide and shepherd the lambs.
Thank you, Christina. Babe, I saw you raise your hand earlier.
Crying with the last 30 minutes because basically exactly what Kepha did. Like, I didn't even know I did that this week, but I did. We've been so busy doing other stuff, I didn't even realize. So I know this whole message is like, he brought it to my attention. Like I love Young, I know I do. There's just still improvements to be done, and when I'm around everybody here, I feel beautiful, I feel strong, I feel everything in my purpose, and I hung out with some friends and they're believers, I don't want to speak for them, but the fruits I see don't line up with the word. So it's like I went to go hang with them and I got challenged with a question, and it was an opportunity to share what we do, and I didn't back out, but I definitely didn't it was just like a really touchy thing, and I basically started talking as if this is what Ikaika believes, as if I didn't say, oh, this is well, this is why we don't do it anymore, this is why our family does it, because Ikaika says this and that, and I totally backed out of being in the position, because I believe it anyway. And then start crying even more because I know how the story goes, and I know I love him so much, and then boom, I go hang out with other people so quickly. It was so I denied what I believe and tried to water it down and stuff, and so So it's just a big eye opener that even though sometimes maybe we're not saying, oh, I don't believe in him, like deny his name, maybe we water things down in certain ways or get a shame or try to beat around the bush with certain topics if we get challenged with a question that other believers aren't, or doers of the, or other people just aren't ready for it. We just think they're not ready for it, so I water down my words and, anyway, so. But the whole thing, I'm crying because it's like how you brought up, like, he denied him, and then, but Yeshua chased after him. Like, he told that, from the messenger, your followers and Peter, like how you brought that up, specifically Peter, like, I'm not done with you just because you messed up, so he chased after, like, make sure. And then afterwards, when he's asking him those questions, you love me, like, so yeah, to bounce off what Joe said, it's so good, like, to see Peter being a bold, reactive, like, his strength is also his weakness, was. And I think Yahusha was molding him to make it just a strength, and I feel him doing that with me, like, I'm getting bends, but he'll bring out when it's like, okay, I still need you to get better. It's always going to be getting better and better. And then how you brought up in Acts at the end, where he's in prison and he's totally at peace. You can see the improvement that happened. Yeah, I'm excited.
Love you, baby. For sharing. Christina?
That brought up a lot. For me growing up, my dad raised us atheists, but we had to read the Bible to know what everybody else is being brainwashed, is what he said. And so, like, for me, I've always had to walk around religion or anything spiritual or believing in anything, like, on eggshells. And looking back this week, I noticed that a lot. Like, I'm kind of introverted, but also kind of extroverted, but, like, my social anxiety, if that's what you want to call it, was really hitting when I was trying to, like, invite people. So, like, I was, like, inviting people on, like, sending them the information on the last day, because I was like, I thought I sent the stuff before because I mentally went through the process, but I didn't actually do it. And then I was like, oh no, I gotta do this. And then, like, I was, like, overthinking how to approach it, because, like, some people, they have trauma when it comes to religious stuff. Like, one of my friends, I had to remember not to invite her because she gets really triggered. She had trauma growing up about it, and it brought up a lot of that for me. But, like, trying to water everything down, like Lonnie said, to make it more palatable and easier. But then we're also making that choice, like, that they're not ready. And, like, I heard this, there's neurodivergent quote thing going around that, HD and autistic people have to mask and pretend to be normal, be able to do all the social cues and stuff, and then that just leads to burnout. You gotta be like, okay, you know what? I'm done watering myself down to make me more palatable for us. So if I'm too much for them to bite off, they can choke. But with this, I don't have to water myself down and water my beliefs down, or my friends and family. If they're meant to be and if they're set apart like us, then, or willing to learn and be like us, it's worth putting myself out there
Mm-hmm.
with that stuff. Sorry.
Oh, it's fine, Christina.
But yeah, crying. So
Danielle, thank you for your shares.
It's powerful what these two sisters brought up too, just from the sense of his why God uses that he uses, right? Is like refining when he's talking about, refining us in pure metals, right? When he's talking about us shining our light, right? Is that ultimately what he's shining a light through is a lens, right? He's given us a message for those people that are in our lives specifically. And so our friends and family, right, they may not take it the way that they should take it, right? But he's given us, and that's the time for us to lean into our purpose in his purpose, right? Is that he made us those lenses to shine the light that he wants to come out of us. You see what I'm saying? And so ultimately in that time, that's the time to lean in and be like, okay, boom, God's giving me this message. This is why he's giving it to me in this moment, is so I can share it with these people. You know what I mean? And so us understanding that we're the vessel in that moment for that light that we need to shine to these people that he's put us in front of. And so really understanding that, boom, this is a big spiritual verse that we are a part of. God is always in control of it. And there is no circumstance, and there is no coincidence, right? Is that he's in control all the time. And we're here because he put us here.
Thank you. You hear me out?
Also too, like these same eyes saw much trauma, as a child growing like that, and now these same eyeballs, glory and power of God being manifested in this universe, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's something real deep to think about, like these same eyes have seen many people come and go in this earth, you know what I mean? But we remain here for a purpose, and I think sometimes even myself seem to forget the protection that we're under on this island. You know what I mean? Like, mainland is wild right now with the police brutality and our brothers and sisters in arms, and we are so protected here, and we're called for the purpose, and it's really a blessing to initiate it, and the world is getting darker, so we got to shine brighter.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay. So that's what makes it special. We all get to, have the opportunity to flash back, look back. This isn't the first time I do this message. It's been a while since I brought this one back up. And a lot of us learning, having the same experience and like, shucks, okay. So thank you, being able, everyone, being vulnerable. And this is transformation. Okay? This is transformation. Formed. Okay, so we'll here. We'll end off with a few songs of praise and worship, and then looks like Ruby and Kelly. Hi, Ruby and Kelly. You guys brought us a nice meal. Love you guys. Okay, so let's go finish off with a few songs, and then we'll continue our fellowship. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna sing Fear Not.
Mic check, mic check.
Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check.
Be revived here today, family. No matter what you did, no matter what you said, He's calling us back. He's calling. Let today be that reminder, yeah? Bound for another way gives me the strength to help me in the righteous way. You hold my hand and give me the courage to withstand the enemies around me. I will be steadfast in your plan. You tell me fear not, yeah. You are my rod and staff. Oh, you tell me fear not, yeah. You are my shield when I'm under attack. You tell me fear not, yeah. And to pray your mighty name and know that He will guard my heart and soul. Through Yahushua, my Messiah, the Alpha and Omega. Yeah. Oh, yeah. For Yah is on my side. I do not fear the wickedness and lies. I trust in you. There's nothing man's flesh can do. You heard my cry. I was breaking down inside. I cleave to you, my deliverer and my savior. I love you. Oh, yeah. You tell me fear not, you are and staff. Oh, you tell me fear not, you are my shield when I'm under attack. You tell me fear not, and to pray in your mighty name and make it wrong. To look on my heart. Through Yahushua, my Messiah, the Alpha Omega. Yeah. Oh, I will rise up through the darkest days. I will stand firm. The truth will be. I will lean on you in all I do. You are my helper. You see me in the world. I will rise up through the darkest days. I will stand firm in the truth will be. I will lean on you in all I do. You are my helper. You see me in eternity. You are my rod and staff. Oh, tell me fear not. You are my shield when I'm under attack. Fear not, and to pray in your mighty name and know that you will guard my heart and soul. Yahushua, my Messiah, the Alpha and Omega. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
focused on walking in truth. I've heard your whole call and I'm here to stay. Not looking back and away. Hallelujah. Dear God, Heavenly Father, I truly come before you today on this set-apart occasion. Please be with us today and let your message that you delivered to Kaika sink down into our hearts and minds, practical application of it in our lives, to bring our light in to glorify you. Please let it be what really helps us transcend, just like through the lesson through Paul, it is required in us as individuals. Please let this help us do so that we can transcend these scenarios. We know that we fall short often, and we can accomplish what you need for us to accomplish by us submitting to your will and to your purpose and your purpose. Please be with us, Yah, and help us to continue to be those beings that you have created us to be. Let our heart want to, right? Help your spirit dwell within us and have the want to. Yes, and help us to continue to study and dig into your word personally so that we can come to an accurate knowledge and you can. We ask that you be with us and help us strengthen us through these trials and help heal those in our community that are in need of healing. Strengthen them, heal them, Yah, for your purpose, to glorify you ultimately, so that they can continue the work that you've put through them. We ask that you be with us in this regard. Bless the hands that have fed us today. And Yah, please be with us and help us to remember that we reflect you, and we want to do so in a way that brings honor and praise to your name. Be with fellowship throughout this day. We ask all these things through your Son, Yahushua, we pray. Let it be.
Hallelujah.
Hang out. Aloha, shalom. Hey, Letty, close us out on the live, end the live. Hey, thank you guys. YouTube, Telegram, Instagram, wherever it is. Shabbat shalom. Peace of the Sabbath day. Aloha. The man himself.